In this workshop we're going to learn how to do cable stitch in knitting. There's a little piece that I've just worked. I'm going to use this to show you, and I'll show you the pattern in a moment. Simply, materials that you need are your yarn, a set of needles and a cable needle, a two-ended little needle. You would be advised to try and get a needle that matches the size of the knitting needles that you're using. Well, as you can see, my little cable needle is much thinner. And the reason why they recommend it is really so that you maintain the size of your stitch, and so that if it's too small it doesn't fall out of the stitches you're carrying for the cable, or if it's too big it doesn't make it too tight when you're carrying your stitches for the cable. But I've not gone out and bought one specifically, and I'll show you how I work with the smaller one anyway. So the pattern. Not going to show you all of this, I'm just going to show you a section just to show you how to do the cabling. Always look at the abbreviations, always read them to know that you understand them. What we're going to do, we're not even going to start with the rib. Stitch that we will be using will be twist. So it says here twist 2, you slip next stitch onto cable needle, leave it back of work, knit 1, then knit from the cable needle. And we'll show you this. We're then going to have C4B, that's cable 4 back. So cable 4 back means slip 2 stitches onto the cable needle, leave it back of work, knit 2, then knit 2 from the cable needle. We then move on to C4F, cable 4 front. So take 2 stitches onto your needle, but this time you leave them at the front of the work. You knit 2 from the needle, and then you knit 2 from the cable needle, and you'll see how it shapes up. This is a 6-row pattern repeat, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So the first and second row just lay the foundations to work the cable. The third row is where the action happens. This is where you've got your cable 4 back and cable 4 front, and then the 4th, 5th and 6th, again just a continuation of the pattern. So you'll see here I've already done a small panel. I'm just going to show you how to work this. So what we have, the pattern says to do purl 2, but I've given an extra piece at the beginning, an extra 3 stitches at the start and at the end. So the pattern says purl 2. It then says twist 2, and you can see that there's a twist in the 2 stitches there. Simply take your yarn back over the needle, take your cable needle, slip 1 stitch off, put it at the back. Knit 1 stitch, knit the stitch off the needle, and I hold it there. You then purl 2. The pattern then says that we have to C4 back. When it talks about C4 or C6 or 6/8, it means just taking 4 stitches, but you don't put all 4 back. It means you're just going to work on those 4 stitches, or if it were 6, or if it were 8. So if we're C4 back, you take your cable needle, take 2 stitches off, take them to the back of your work, knit 2 off the knitting needle. You can see I'm holding the small needle at the back. You then knit the 2 off of the cable needle. That's C4B, C4 back. I now need to do C4F. So take the cable needle again, this time, slip 2 of the 4 stitches off the needle, leave it to the front, I can either pin it there or I let it go. Knit 2 off the knitting needle, knit 2 off of the cable needle. Put your needle down. Carry on. So 1, 2. So you can see what's happened there, and that will fan out just like the lower ones when we've knitted a few more rows. We once again need the cable needle just to do the twist. It's a 2-stitch twist, so knit 1, knit the stitch off of the cable needle. There you go. We now need to purl 2. And we're now going to do the C4B again. So as the instruction says to us, slip next 2 stitches onto cable needle, put it to the back of your work, leave it back at work. Then you knit 2 off of the knitting needle, knit 2 from the cable needle. C4 front. Slip 2 stitches off of the needle, leave it at the front of the cable needle, knit 2 stitches off of the knitting needle, then the 2 that you've slipped from the cable needle, keep hold of the needle this time because I'm coming up to the twist. So then purl 2, slip 1, knit the 1 stitch, knit the 1 stitch off of the cable needle. We've now finished with the cable needle, so we can put it down, and we finish the row with a few purl stitches. So, as I said, that was the 3rd row in the 6 row pattern. You can see it looks a little bit twisted there. Look at the reverse side and you can see how it's taking shape there. I'll knit another row and show you that in a second.